else enjoying my growth? Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How are you? And happy Sunday. Can you hear me clearly? Can somebody just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly? Just so I'm sure my audio is good and we can dive into this amazing afternoon. Can anybody hear me? Thank you, thank you, thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Nena. Thank you for confirming you can hear me. Good afternoon and happy New Year. Happy New Year. It's the 12th of January, and today is our first session of Together We Can. And I'm super excited to be here. I don't know about you, for me, God has given me a word for 2025. He personally told me that it's a year for higher dimension. For me personally, and for Chronicles of an Autism Mom Foundation, I got a separate word, and that is a year of growth, a year of communion, a year of fellowship with one another. And so we'll be doing a whole lot of things together, and I'm so excited to share with you. I just want to welcome everybody to this beautiful session. I'm really delighted to have you here. While we're waiting for more people to join in, I will just dive right in because this year we'll be respecting one another. We'll be honoring our time. And so I won't be waiting for anybody that's joining late. They will meet us where they meet us. And so, yes, welcome to Together We Can. For those joining for the very first time, Together We Can is a branch of Chronicles of an Autism Mom Foundation. And in this space, Together We Can, I sincerely believe that as parents navigating this autism journey together, we can meet with one another, we can have a societal with one another, a place where we can share things, ideas, rub mind with one another. And that's we are all over the world in this virtual space. We can meet and we can connect. And so that is what we do in Together We Can. We also bring subject matter experts to come and share knowledge with us. So yes, we bear one another's burden, we enlighten ourselves, we share more insight into how we can navigate our journey, and we just, grow together as one family. So welcome to Chronicles of an Autism Mom Foundation. For us, for myself and my spouse, Ade, we sincerely believe that every family connected to us can thrive, can literally break barriers, can literally break whatever societal ceiling that they've put on children with autism or families with autism. We believe with the grace of God that we as parents, we can thrive and our children can also thrive, even on this autism journey. And so that is our belief, that is our vision, and we intend to share this with every family that comes in connection with us, any family that connects with Chronicles of an Autism Mom Foundation. My screen is frozen. Okay. Any family that connects with Chronicles of an Autism Foundation, we believe that, yes, there are some stereotypes, there are some myths that have been placed on children with autism, but we believe that our children, every child connected to COM will be an exception, and our children, with ourselves as parents, we will thrive on this journey. And so a quick introduction about us, what we do, what we stand for, where we are, our history. Yes, Chronicles of an Autism Moms Foundation started about a few years back, and it was just popped out of curiosity. My spouse and I navigating our journey, and we found ourselves recording and sharing our milestones, because those milestones, I'm sure if you agree with me, those milestones are things that you cannot keep to yourself. Hearing our son share his first word, or seeing him do something addition, seeing him do little things from dressing himself up, those things are big deals for us. And so we were just sharing our experiences on social media, and I was surprised our little wins resonated with lots and lots of families. And that's our sharing that started from a very small space has metamorphosized, whereby we have a registered non-for-profit foundation now. And I'm so excited at the things that God is using us to do. Right now, in our Together We Can WhatsApp community, we have about 167 families from all over the world, and we have representation in Canada, in different provinces in Canada, in Ontario, Alberta, Manitoba, British Columbia. We also have members, over 70 members in Nigeria from Lagos, Abuja, Kaduna, and we also have a very huge representation in the United Kingdom and also in the United States. We are also growing presence in Ghana, in Sweden, at what God is doing through us. It's just to show that no matter how small the seed that God has laid in your hand, God is able to bless it. Apart from our community, we also have about over 3,000 followers on our social media and growing. And this foundation has just been registered for 3 years. And so in a short period of time, I can see the thing that God is doing up with us. And I know God wants us to put ourselves out there and do more and make sure that more families are aware of what He's able to do in the lives of our families and in the lives of our children. A little intro about myself. My name is Abiola Adedeji, and I'm the founder of Chronicles of an Autism Mom Foundation. I am a lover of God. There is nothing I will say that you'll not hear me refer to my father. You will hear me do that a lot. So just have that at the back of your mind. Apart from that, I'm a certified project manager and a certified project scrum master. I'm the proud mother of 2 beautiful children. I have a 13-year-old neurotypical daughter, and I have a beautiful 10-year-old son who is neurodivergent. And I love traveling. Before now, when my son could not entertain a whole lot of exposure, we couldn't travel. We literally did not go out. We literally would not leave our house. But past 2024, we found that as a family, we do enjoy traveling, and that's to testify that God has helped our son overcome a lot of barriers from being overstimulated in a crowded environment to being able to accommodate people in the long transitions. He's very flexible with transition now. And also he's able to even stay in an aircraft and fly for 6 hours, stay in a car and drive for 16 hours. And that is just to show how much God can help every one of us. So yes, now we found out or discovered that as a family, we love traveling. We love traveling, and we'll be doing more of traveling this year by God's grace. So that's a little bit about myself. But let me just tell you how we support you in case you're joining us for the very first time or you're listening to us for the very first time. Like I said, this is Chronicles of an Autism Mom Foundation, and we have different ways in which we support families connected to us. The first of all will be what we are doing now. That's our Together We Can virtual meet and greet. For the past couple of years, we've been meeting bi-monthly, where we bring subject matter experts to come and educate us. So part of what we do is we share new knowledge with one another. Not only that, we also come to just onboarding ourselves and have that community where you can talk with people that really get you. On our Together We Can virtual meet and greet sessions, we have breakout sessions whereby as parents, based on what we've discussed that day, we can go in and create an old plan on how we can further help our children and ourselves as we thrive on this journey. Apart from that, this year, by the grace of God, we'll be diving more into autism health awareness. Late last year, I got some terrible news about a parent on the spectrum who had a child on the spectrum, and sadly she passed. And so that laid a very heavy burden on my heart that as parents, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves. And so we'll be looking at bringing different speakers to come and educate us on how we can take care of ourselves better. So yes, we'll be talking about autism health awareness for ourselves as parents and also for our children. We'll be also talking about how we can reduce inequalities and encouraging every parent to be an advocate for your child and promote autism inclusion. So we'll be talking about that as well. We'll also, be sharing strategies on how to make sure that our children are included in their classrooms and share strategies that we can do with one another or that we can use with one another. We would also be partnering and collaborating with different autism communities out there. I'm trusting God that He will help us to find the right community that can understand us and that we can partner with one another. And so, yes, that is how we support you in our Together We Can virtual meet. But of course, we also have our Together We Can WhatsApp community, and that is where you can find real-time help literally at the back of your pocket. We have communities and we have subgroups in different regions in US, Nigeria, Canada. And you have that community whereby we can share region-specific resources and you can know what to do based on your region. We know that the spectrum is broad. We are all over. We're a global nation. And irrespective of the fact, we want people to be able to find a community whereby people really in that community resonate with what you're going through. So we have our WhatsApp communities. And apart from that, in the WhatsApp community, you can share real time if you have any problem that you need help with, or if you're overwhelmed and you just want somebody to connect with you. We help one another in our WhatsApp community. We literally hold one another up. And so, yes, we have our Together We Can WhatsApp community that you can participate in. Apart from that, we also have a one-on-one onboarding with Abiola. That's me. God has laid on my heart that apart from the fact that we have a community, there's still some matters, there's still some sensitive things that parents are not willing to share to the bigger community. And so I have opened up my calendar for some days to share whatever it is that you want to talk about. You can just go to our bio on Instagram and you can book an appointment with me and we'll have a one-on-one conversation on whatever areas that you need help with or where you feel like you are anxious about. And I trust God that God will help you. Also, we have our website. We have lots of resources. We have our blog on the website, and we've shared some resources that I have used or some other parents have used that you can also get for your child, and that can help them, just navigate life better. Not forgetting, we have our comrades. Like I told you at the introduction, I am a child of God, and I believe so much in what our Father, the God that created the heavens and the earth, can do for us. He has said to us that we and our children, we are perfect gift. And so I sincerely believe in the power of prayer. And so we meet once on the last Sunday of every month for our comrades, and that is an hour session whereby we just pray together concerning any challenges you might be having or your child is having, and we agree as a family together because God says whatever we bring to Him is able to help us through it. So yes, those are how we support you. We have resources, we share resources on our social media pages. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, and we're on YouTube as well. So please, you can just connect with us with all those platforms, and then we would be happy to have you in our family. And so before I go to the next slide, to just share some things that our members have shared in case you are very new here. If you are yet to follow us on our social media platforms, please do that now. I would really, really appreciate that. I would appreciate if you can help, share the content that we shared so that we put it out there and be another sister's keeper or another family's keeper, and just share the word with people out there. I'm trying to see if I can pull that in the chat. Just bear with me for a second. And I'll pull that. But while I'm doing that, can you just let me know where you're connecting from? That's a brief history about us. But can you just tell me where you're connecting from? I'm in Milton, Ontario. Where are you connecting from today? Can you put that in the chat? I would appreciate that. Let's just see where we are connecting from. Okay. Anybody? Copy chat. Okay, thank you. Paige Kemi is joining from Leicester, UK. Hello. Oh, it should be evening where you are now. Good evening. You guys are way ahead of us. Good evening. How is your day going? And Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Oh, the UK family are here. We have Kingsley in UK. Hi, Dr. Junica. Good evening. Good evening. And yes, the last one. Um, and so I'm putting our social media pages on the WhatsApp, on the chat here. Please feel free to just click and join. Hi, Deborah. You're joining from Ontario. My neighbor, my neighbor. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. So please feel free. I'm waiting for you guys. Please feel free and click on the link and just follow us on YouTube or subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram. We're trusting God that this year He will grant us speed and we'll be able to put more resources out there for you. And I don't want you to miss it. So please feel free and click those links now. Yeah. So some things people have said about our community, We might have been around for a very, very short period of time, but yes, we are one family and we move together. I have a feedback from Buki that had said that our Together Weekend session is a real eye-opener. I learned so many things that I could do to help my son, both at home and with engagement with his teacher in school. It is also comforting that I'm in the midst of people who understand my challenge and offer various ways they were able to overcome similar challenge. That's a feedback from Buki. And like I said, we keep sharing, we keep sharing. Also, I have Adiola B said, I had an awesome time and felt like a burden was lifted off my shoulder. I had been overwhelmed with caring for my son. I was totally drained. I was dissipating so much energy trying to fix so many things, but it wasn't addressing the main issue and I wasn't seeing any positive result. Today's session helped redirect my attention to the things I need to do to help my son and also the things I need to do to take care of myself spiritually, physically, and psychologically. I am so glad and so grateful for all the vital information and resources I got. Thank you so very much. God bless you abundantly. That is from Adiola that had shared about one of our programs. Also, Nikia, a member says the emotional support and encouragement to keep going, the result from other parents on the progress of their kids, even though we can't compare. That is just to buttress the fact that despite the fact that we are on at different place on the spectrum, the fact that we share our stories with one another encourages ourselves. And lastly, we have Bumi Oru said she was patient and we went way over time. Oh, okay. She's talking about a one-on-one onboarding session with Abiola. She said she was patient and went way over time with me. It was really helpful, encouraging to talk to somebody that sort of understands some of these challenges. I honestly just needed that conversation that day, and I left feeling much better. So those are some things that people have said regarding how we support you. And so please feel free, really feel free to connect with us on any of these things that you want to do, either our Together Weekend sessions or our one-on-one onboarding with Abiola or our Com WhatsApp community or Com Praise or our website or social media pages. There are lots of resources that we put out there and I want you to participate and benefit from it. So yes, that's I've been talking and talking and talking. This is usually a two-way thing. And so now I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your voice. If you're able to unmute yourself, I would appreciate, and I would like somebody to just tell us one thing that your child accomplished in 2024 that made you feel incredible proud. Just one thing. I'm sure there will be something that happened or with your child, there was a milestone that you cannot leave your mind in a hurry. And so can you please share with us one accomplishment that your child made in 2024 that was really fantastic? I would really like to hear from people now. So who wants to go? I have shared mine already. I shared mine on social media pages. I'm sure some people might have seen, but if you want to go, I would really want to hear from you. Anybody? Anybody? I'm sure your children did a lot of things. For me, my son, oh, I don't even know where to start from. Probably I'll start from the incident I saw on Friday. I was dropping him off at school. His dad usually does the morning routine, but he was in a meeting and he asked me to drop him off, and I said, why not? So we bundled ourselves in the car. We drove to school, and I just said goodbye to my son in the car. And he asked me, can I open the door now? I said yes. And he just opened the door and he just whisked off to his class. And it just dawned on me that how God have helped us, because this is the same boy that even last year, he usually would enter from the CERT office, and a CERT will usually hold him or take him into the building. He wasn't allowed to just walk into the building, because then he would be distracted with so many, or overwhelmed with a lot of kids inflow in and out. But now my son can just literally walk from anywhere, go straight to his locker, put his backpack in his locker, and go to his class. For us, that was a phenomenal feat that God helped us, and it was by the grace of God, and with also intentional act. Intentional act. That's one of the several things that Demi did in 2024. But who else want to share? Anybody want to share something that your child accomplished that made you feel really proud? Anybody else want to share?
Hello, everyone. My name is Deborah. My daughter's name is Rafaela, Rafi for short.
Yeah.
So when she started elementary school, we moved to Canada in 2023. So when she started elementary school, she had to be put in on the special bus with a harness and all that. She didn't really complain about it, but it always felt disturbing to me to see her strapped up. I understand it's for her safety and the safety of others, but it was just, I just felt it was just too much. And that was one of my prayer points to see her join kids in regular bus. So we changed schools when we moved. And at the first kickoff meeting, I just told the school, let's try her with the regular bus. I feel she has matured enough, and it'd be nice for her to start getting used to what the real life looks like. And they were very, very accommodating, and they said it's fine. They will still register for the special bus just in case she needs it, but they'll put her on the regular bus. And she has been taking the regular bus since August, no, September, when she started school last year. And till date, we've only gotten about 2 incidents where she walk was like kind of poking other kids on the bus. She usually goes on the bus with her elder sister anyway, so it makes things a whole lot easier. But she's not jumping around, she's not making noise. She's usually just sitting quietly, waiting to get to school, to get to her teachers and her minders. Same thing for then they had issues with her going back at the end of the day because she keeps seeing her boss is usually the last one. So she's always thinking it's the first one. Okay, no, it's not that one, it's the next one. So she was getting agitated. And they were encouraging us again to move to the special bus because that bus comes first. But we told them no, figure out something else. We really don't want to go back. Once we've left Egypt, we're not planning to go back to Egypt. So the staff, they were very, very nice. They came up with a plan to keep her inside until her boss was ready. Then they would bring her out. And till date, it has been going on fine. And as the general prayer is always for this to be a thing of the past. Every single barrier, every single hindrance should be overcome, and there should be breakthrough in every single delay. But when I find that when I just pin down a particular behavior and I just tell God, God, please, this one, just let's just do this one, I beg. I know probably your plan is next year, but just give me this one so that at least I can sleep well this night. And we finally overcame school bus. The other one we overcame was sitting down in church for the full 1 hour. We're Catholics, so it's usually like an hour or an hour, 10 minutes, and we are done. So you would find her getting all hyper, moving around, talking loud, and I'll have to take her out. Initially, we were giving her a phone my phone to use in church, but we were like, okay, no, this has to stop. We took away the phone, and she was able to get wind of it over a month period. Then when she makes noise, we take her outside. And I was like, okay, fine. This going outside thing has to stop because we all need to start getting used to sitting down in one place at least for the 1 hour period. She hasn't been able to sit down 100% quietly. We now give her her drawing books, papers, because she likes to draw. So we give her all those things that do not make as much noise for her to do while in church. And she follows with most of the prayers. She knows them. So now we sit her close to the TV. So she's able to see all the prayers and everything, the songs. So she just looks at the TV and she wants to follow ahead. And all the gestures, if anyone who is Catholic, we have a lot of gestures for the Mass. So she's able to follow through or most of them. So those are the two major that I'm really really grateful for. There are many more, but those two they are the recent progress that I'm really grateful for. Thank you for the opportunity, Abiola.
Thank
Really
you so
grateful.
much, Deborah. This really gladdens my heart, and it just talks about how, as parents, how we can be intentional with our children and how God can help us. It depends on your mindset, what you want. And I like the fact that several times you would start off with something and then you modify it to something like, okay, I think she can do this. We can take this completely. We cannot sustain giving her the screen every time, and you were intuitive enough to bring in other resources that she can still do, like drawing and coloring without screen, even in church. I think that is fantastic. Well done to you, Deborah, and well done to Rafaela. That was really good. That was really good. Jenica, I saw your hand up.
Yeah, hey, good evening from this part of the world, everybody. Um, yeah, God has been so faithful. 2024, yeah, we saw much less tantrums. That when it happens, I'm like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? You know? So yeah, that was the hallmark. And we were able to kind of like manage our periods better because we started quite early. 10 was 10 plus when she started her periods, and she's been able to was able to grasp it a bit better, to know what to do and how to keep herself clean, So yeah, and also the other thing was fine motor, because I think most of us kind of like tend to struggle with fine motor, but her being able to do some certain thing. Example, screwing up her bottle, because usually she'll fill it with water and then she'll come for you to help her screw it up. So those ones, I would say that God indeed did marvelous. Apart from so many others, these three, really stood out to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. That is amazing. I remember, was it 2 years ago when we are setting goals for Sam and Damie then? We're talking about some setting goals. I think then we were talking about self-care. Our children are growing and they haven't mastered this. And we decided, okay, let's break this thing down. Let's go and look for sponge. What sponge are they going to resonate with? Then we're looking for finger gloves. We're looking for, different gloves. But it is amazing to see that within few years they've been able to master that skill and they're moving on to the next thing. That is really beautiful. And I'm happy that Sam is doing better with her body care. She understands herself better and there's less tantrums. Her fine motor is doing good. That is really good, Dr. Jenica. Well done. Sorry, it comes to my mouth anyhow. I don't know how to. I know you will look at me with me one eye. That girl, I told you to stop that. But yeah, that's you, and I honor you. Well done. Any parent else want to share, like we're talking about one thing or two things or whatever it is that your child was able to accomplish in 2024 that you're really proud of? I'm sure we have these things, and I don't want us to just forget them. I want us to be able to celebrate our children milestones, because in 2025, it's a new year and we'll be doing bigger things. We'll be doing bigger things. So yes, anybody else want to share? Anybody else wants to share? Please don't be shy. This is your accomplishment as well as your child. So please, you should be proud. Just raise your hands up or just unmute yourself. I don't want to call names. I want to respect people. So anybody else want to share something that your child was able to accomplish in 2024 that you were proud? Or if it's one lesson that you learned as a parent last year, there's another question. One lesson that you learned as a parent last year that you want to carry forward into 2025. I can go first because I literally printed it out that I should be very understanding. I'm not talking about only to my neurodivergent son, now to my daughter that is neurotypical. I find that I have a very short fuse, especially with her, which is unfair, but with my neurodivergent son, I have a very long fuse. And so towards the end of the year, God laid it heavily on my hand that I need to be very patient and to be understanding. And so, yes, that's the one thing that I learned that I want to be able to take, that I'm taking, so by fire, by force, I'm taking to 2025 to be very, very understanding with my daughter. Anybody else want to share? Probably you want to talk about a thing that your child accomplished in 2024 or one lesson that you learned that we can all also glean on and take with us to 2025. Anybody wants to share? I don't want to be the only one talking. That's why I'm interjecting and pausing so that you guys can also say something. Abby, you were muting yourself. Please go.
Hi, everyone.
I got you there.
I was actually going to say something, but I was just finishing my food.
Oh, okay.
So I was on mute. Yeah, good afternoon, good evening. Last year was my daughter's first year in school, so going to JK, I was very, very anxious. Like I worried about the smallest detail. I remember when we started 2024, I only had just one goal for her, which was for her to be potty trained. I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried, and I nearly gave up. In fact, I actually did. I stopped for a long period of time, and I think just before the summer, we started again, um, using the same tricks that I've used before, and it just clicked for her. It clicked for her. um by the end of the week, within a week, she knew what to do. She connected the dots between when she has the feeling or the urge to want to go to the bathroom, and knowing what to do in steps. So that was really a great achievement for her. I can't really take credit for her. I think it was just her time, and then she just understood. And it surprises everyone that worked with her because the way she mastered it was so, so well. She understood, like, even when she makes a mistake, she would take down her clothes. She would try to clean the floor. She would go and grab things to clean the floor herself. Like, she just mastered the whole routine within a short period of time. So it was an achievement for her. It was also a lesson learned for me, in the sense that everything counts, everything that we're doing, even though it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, they are actually picking it up. And one day, we don't know when that day is, but we hope that it's soon. The pieces fall together and the pieces come together, and we shouldn't just keep, give up on the things we're doing, on the things that we're doing, because they're really, really watching and absorbing things. And I've just realized that I know people that we've always talked about it, and people always share from their experience that routine is so important. My daughter reminds me all the time of the routine. She's pre-verbal, but if there was something missing in her routine, the way she would throw tantrums to remind me that I've missed a step. If it's bedtime routine, like usually, I don't know, we would go through steps of like winding down, going to the bathroom, taking our Holy Communion, and then going to bed. If I miss any step of those things, she would kick it first. She knows what her routine should be at any different time, and it just helps me to be grounded that, she's watching, she knows what's next, and I need to just try and figure out myself a little bit better to be able to manage everything that I have to do. So that's it in a nutshell. Let's not give up.
That's beautiful, Abby. That is beautiful. That is not an ordinary fit. That is something you should be proud of. That, she mastered potty training. Trust me, a lot of people, even in much older ages, are struggling with that. And your daughter was able to. And the beauty of all these things is when these things click to them, you'll be surprised how fast they latch onto it. So, yes, you should really celebrate that. You should be proud of yourself and your daughter for being able to do that together. That is amazing. That is amazing. Okay, so anybody else want to share one lesson you learned as a parent last year that you want to carry forward into 2025? I've told you mine is to be more patient and to be understanding with my neurotypical and my neurodivergent son. I think I need to do with a lot of patience this year, but anybody else want to share? Then we'll just dive into our discussion for today.
Yeah, for me, it's trusting the process,
Mm.
just trusting all the way, and still just keep looking at that goal, that picture, in my mind that the Lord has put in for each of the children, the neurotypical, neurodive, just trusting the process, no matter even if we fall off the bandwagon, to just keep trusting and keep pushing, knowing that indeed that He will bring us to our expected end. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenica. Thank you. Yes, that's one lesson we should all hold on our right hand. Because like we were sharing the WhatsApp group and I had asked that what are some things I used to do that you have dropped? Like in myself, I have quite a number of things that I've dropped, but I'm gradually picking them up back one by one. But we just need to trust the process and see them through. Let's just see them through. And with the grace of God, our children, they would all excel. That's for sure, because they are God's children. So they would all excel. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And so for today, I was in a place of prayer and I asked God that, I'm going to my people. What do you want us to talk about? And He just laid on my heart that, Abiola, you've not been telling the truth. Literally how He just put it in my heart, that I've not been telling the truth, that I've not been fully sincere with you guys about the things that I do, and He wants me to share that with you. So guys will have to listen to me. I'll be bearing myself out as much as God has laid it on my heart to do. And then we'll be talking about that also. So I have broken this down to 3 or 2 main topics that we'll talk about. First of all, I want to talk about you as a parent. Remember when I was talking about the vision of Chronicles of Autism Mom, it was for we as parents and our children to thrive. That's the future that we see. We don't want a future whereby, God forbid, our children are okay and we as parents, we've lost ourselves, we lost our essence, we lost our being entirely. And so this year, like I said, when I was going through our plan, we'll be focusing on ourselves as parents. We'll be talking about our children, how to set SMART goals for them. And for some parents who had shared their goals previously in the WhatsApp group, I took the liberty of breaking some goals down to SMART goals. And in our breakout room, we'll be using those as examples to, coining our goals that we have for our children. So that is how our conversation will go this afternoon. I'm looking at the time and I'm being mindful of the time, but I've just realized that as parents, me with the help of God, and I'm still work in progress, I am very mindful about the things I say about my children. And God keeps reminding me, Abiola, you're not catching yourself enough. I'm being very, very mindful the things that I confess, the things that leaves my mouth about my children. I'm being mindful of, the faith that I have in the God that I serve. Remember, I told you that I can't say anything without God. So just bear with me. In the God that I serve, I have faith in God that He says that the gift He has given me, they are perfect gift. Now, the world might call it autism diagnosis, but even in that, my son is perfect and is a perfect gift. And how we as parents, we need to be intentional about our health, how we live, because whatever we do will transform and translate on our children. So those are the things we'll be talking about, and I will just quickly dive in so that we can also quickly get to the breakout room, and then we can, set more goals for our children. So you
Hi,
as a
Abiola.
parent, hi.
So sorry to interrupt. This is Khadija.
Hi, Khadija.
Please, could you please give me just 2 minutes to share something before you go into the goal setting?
Absolutely. This is all about us. Yes.
Okay, so hi everyone. Something came to my mind now that I've been thinking of sharing with the rest of the team on the WhatsApp chat. Something I did last year, towards the end of last year, and I plan to take into this year and continue as well. So just like Abiola mentioned, there was someone within the Nigerian community, a very strong advocate for special needs autism. And I had the opportunity to meet her briefly in August.
Mm.
Yeah, and then she passed, I think was December. Yeah, it was December. And the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that message was I just ran into the bathroom. Immediately I saw it's like I was in a state of shock because like I said, when I saw her, we spoke briefly and all that, and she was in good health. And the first thing that came to my mind was what will happen to this woman's son, because she lives alone with her son. She's been like single, taking care of all the kids for like years since he was a young child. And there's been something I've had on my mind all this while to document everything I've been doing for our son, which I never really got to do. I just, it was something I wanted to do. And because of Aja's death, may God have mercy on her soul, I sat down that day, left everything else I was supposed to do, and I documented everything that I've been doing for the last maybe 7 years. Diet, therapy, support, all sorts in an Excel sheet. I sent it to my husband that in an email, and I also sent a copy to my sister so that just in case anything happens, there's still some follow through with him. I know nobody likes to talk about death and it's forbidden and all that, but it's also very important that as main caregivers to these kids, we have some documentation in place for them. Should in case anything happens, it's just been, I'd say being more responsible for them by doing that. So it's something I would like to encourage everyone else to try and do. Sometime this year, find people within your maybe community, siblings, family members that you can trust, that they understand the challenges. I know, sometimes when we hear these things, we try to maybe hide the kids. We don't want people to know what's happening, but we really need trusted people around us who we know that if anything happens to us, they can actually take care of these kids. I had the conversation with my sister. I did send her the document, and by God's grace, I will be updating the document every year. So I would want us all to please try and do that for these kids, because most times, especially with the moms, we're doing 150%. And most times it's just us doing this work. Even sometimes the spouses don't know how much you're doing, the therapists, or, all sorts. So please, let's try and do some documentation. I pray we all live long to see these kids excel and do well in life. But just like an insurance, if you want to take it that way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Khadija, for saying that. Thank you for pointing that out. Like that idea, God rest her soul, her passing was really, really tragic. I also saw her active, and I was wondering, she was healthy, she was out of the hospital, and all we got was that she passed on. And so even in our retrospective meeting, the COM, what would I call it? Admins, we had spoken that we're going to bring in experts, subject matter experts, to walk us through how to start putting our wills. For those who don't have will, have a will for your child. For those who don't have succession plan, have a succession plan for your child. And then we'll also be talking about finances as well in our Together We Can session. So thank you for bringing that up again. It is good. It's a good reminder. That's something that we should all do going forward. And as much as you can, it is good. Like she said, Khadija said, our spouses do not know the extent of the things that we do. And if we don't document it, nobody knows, nobody can pick up from wherever you left. And like you said, we're all going to live long. I'm not planning to live anytime soon. I'm going to see them as children's children. But let's just put these resources in place for them so that anybody that sees it can run with it. Thank you. Okay, that's okay, sis. Thank you. Okay, so to you as a parent now, I had said that I just wanted to, it's also, thank God this is in line with what Khadija had said, because I felt so strongly that, okay, as parents, probably we carry the shoulders, the weight of being a mother, of being a wife, of being a parent, of being a sibling. Like we do so many things. And it's very easy for us to forget ourselves while we're just doing these things on an auto run basis. Like literally the robots in us just keep doing this day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. And we don't stop to take care of ourselves. And when I mean taking care of ourselves, I'm talking about our mental health, how we take care of our mental health, how we take care of our physical bodies, how we take care of our spiritual bodies. We all need to do better. And I'm talking to myself, inclusive. I know in 2024, I had set some physical goals for myself, and those goals had accidents. When I tell you major accidents, major accidents. And my spouse will remind me, you said you want a treadmill, I bought it for you. You said you want a Meta Quest, I bought it for you. But this exercise you are not doing. I'm like, dude, just be doing your do. Leave me and let me be doing my do. Leave me and let me be doing my do. But God is just, my own is when I see it from a biblical standpoint, I cannot but shake on that. I have to be steadfast. And so I'm just praying to God that God just open my eyes to see these things, why I should take care of my body from the spiritual standpoint. Because yes, my body is a temple of the Holy Ghost, and I carry a very powerful soul in me. So I have to take care of my physical bodies. And I just want to use that to encourage everybody. Please, I know we're setting goals for our children. We'll be looking into that later on, but I want you to be so resolute to take care of yourself in 2025. I want you to be like dog-headed, whatever it is that you give to anybody else, because it says it's easy to serve others. As parents, at times, I think as mothers, our love language is service. We just want to keep serving and keep giving to the people around us. But to ourselves, we cannot, but we need to pour into ourselves as well. We need to take care of ourselves. And so, yes, we'll be doing our best at TWC. And it's really, God is just showing me that TWC might not be bi-monthly because there's so much that we need to talk about. I haven't shared this with the admins, and that's why I'm not confirming yet. There's so many things we need to talk about. We need to talk about our health, and I want us to be able to hear from subject matter experts on actually what we can do, strategies as parents in our busy schedules, what we can do. So I'm just trusting God that it will help us, and then we'll bring that once that is ready. But yes, I want to also talk about our words as parents. What do we say? As mothers, what do we say over our children? Many of us, we forget the fact that whatever leaves our mouth would not come back empty. And I know that at times we are confronted with these challenges that our children have. They are really right in front of our nose. But we need to choose and pick what we say over them. We need to choose what we say over them. Khadija is a Muslim, and I know that she is very, very strong in her faith. And for those of us who are Catholic, irrespective of what your denomination is, You know, I want you to be conscious about the things you say about your children. Please don't just say anything. It is a very powerful mistake that you don't want to make. Don't just speak carelessly. Rather, encourage the habit or form this habit of saying that your child might not be able to do it yet. And that's why I like when Deborah said our daughter is still pre-verbal, because she's going to be verbal. She's going to get there by the grace of God. So I want us to be conscious of the things that we say and the things that we listen to, the environment that we saturate ourselves in. You know, knowingly or unknowingly, there are things that influences our lives. And this is where God was telling me, Abiola, you've not been sincere with your people. You need to tell them. And me, you think that you see me on social media that I'm always out there. No, I'm not always out there. I schedule myself. I am very, very intentional about the things that I listen to, the people that I'm talking, like people influence you just reading or scrolling on internet. There are several things that can influence you. They actually influence you because a seed has been sown into your life then. And so I am very, very, very patient and careful about the things, the people I follow. And I want you to be also very observant about that. Be mindful of the circle of people that you keep. If you have any friend that is not edifying you, this is the year to say bye-bye. It is okay. Just let them go. Just let them go. We have to be intentional about our circle. If it's you are a parent, you have children on the spectrum, find people, like-minded people that have the same vision like as you do. There are some people who just believe that their child can do nothing. And I understand the spectrum is very big, but even despite the fact that they're on the spectrum, our children can be functional. That is what I see for my child. And that is what I'm hoping that you are seeing for your child as well. And so please, 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 let me just buttress. I don't want to overflag it or overflog it as it were. I want you to be very, very mindful about the things you read, the things you hear, the things you consume. They knowingly or unknowingly bear seed in your heart. And our realities are really truly shaped by what we say. So be careful about what you say about your children, what you say about your child, what you say about yourself. Please, please, please. Like I also said, I want us to take care of, be intentional about our health in 2025. You know, take care of your spiritual health. You're a Muslim, pray. You're a Christian, pray. Pray, pray, pray. Meditate on the word that you heard. Worship God. Your physical bodies and your emotional health. Prioritize your self-care. Eat well. Eat good food. Not just ordinary food. Eat proper food. My slide is jumping ahead of me. I think I'm spending too much time. Eat proper food, food that will nourish your body. Eat well, not only that, exercise, keep your body healthy. I'm finding, and I keep telling myself, Abiola, you're over 40 now, you have to build more muscle tone. I haven't done that, but I know this year God will help me. So please, everybody, I want you to prioritize your health, you know. Also, this is something that God called out for me, that we should embrace. I think we have mostly mothers here, even though I know we have fathers in the WhatsApp group as well. Embrace your femininity. And what I mean by that is ask for help. At times, you know, we are women, we just want to do everything. It is okay to embrace your soft side where you can be pampered, you can be relaxed, you can have your spouse or your friends do things for you. Please embrace that this 2025. Forget that I can do it, all those muscle things. No, that has gone with 2024. This year, please, 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 let people love upon you. Let people love on you. Let people love on you. If you are married, let your spouse love upon you. If you are single, find relationships, find like-minded people that they can help you out, people that can help you emotionally, physically, they can support you. Please, in 2025, we have to take care of ourselves. And that is just where I'll wrap it up at you as a parent. And then I will go to our children. How we can set smart goals for our children. I hope you guys can still hear me because I've been talking. Anybody want to interject and talk about how we can, probably something comes to mind, how we can take care of ourselves better or how we can be more intentional about our health, ourselves in 2025. Anybody wants to chime in? before we go and look into how we can take care of our children better. We are doing very, very good on time. So anybody can, you can just unmute yourself. I'm trying to see if I have any hands up. Nobody. Please, please, please. It's a new year. It's a new year. We'll be doing this together.
I've raised my hand. You didn't see it.
Sorry. I hope your hand was not paining you. I didn't see it.
Okay. I didn't realize that I was taking care of myself until a friend, like not just a friend, a couple of friends told me that she sent me vacation video and said, even if anybody, no matter how stressful they are, they want that no matter whether or not anything is happening, that she will always find time to flex is me. And in my mind, I have to ask myself, like, is that a good perception or not? It's not like going to parties or anything. I enjoy traveling. That's my main. I don't stress myself with luxuries, because traveling for me is like the top luxury. I enjoy good food and I enjoy company. So those are the three things that I enjoy. So when they flagged that, I had to take a second to actually ask myself. But when I had a conversation with my friends about it, and they were like, no, that's basically a good balance. That once you are able to put in your all in your work, you are able to put in your all in your family, you should also be able to put your all in terms of taking care of yourself. So we were discussing, okay, what does taking care of yourself means? One says she likes her arts and crafts. She will buy flowers, cardboards, and stuff, redecorate her house. That gives her the greatest joy. The other one just likes being on the phone for like an hour, 2 hours, talking to friends, venting, sharing stories, complaining about the world, complaining about everything, plotting plans, making strategies, anything under the sun. That's what gives her the greatest joy. For me, the minute I'm able to put a very nice meal in my mouth, it's almost like, yes, it has been a good day. I love having good conversation as well. And I also like traveling. It doesn't have to be somewhere too far. If I can just get to change location, experience a new environment, eat something different. For me, it's like it's something that I like. Before I came to Canada, I was really into pedicures and manicures for relaxation. But this in Canada, with the dollar way na they charge, person don't relax for that one. So the other thing where I can find the cheap thrills, I will find them as well. But the main thing is that whatever you feel sparks joy. It might be having a community of friends. I'm not really a person who likes to go to the cinema, but my friends like to, and I tell them I'm going only for the company. I'm not interested in the movie. So whatever it is that you feel gives you joy, that's what you would just invest. Just first of all, find out first, not what every other person likes. Once you find out what some people, it might be sleep. So whatever it is that you feel fine gives you joy, just carve out time. And initially I told my children, I have 3 of them, that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you guys have it for yourself. Like one Monday for you, Tuesday for you, Wednesday for the other one. Thursday is when my mom was here. I told my mom that Thursday was for her, then Friday was for me, then weekends was everybody find your square root. No, nobody should be demanding, but we have not really been following that schedule. But that was what I had in mind to work towards more this year. So that's just my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. That is fantastic. Please, it looks like I'll be connecting with you because me, I want to flex in this 2025. I want to enjoy myself. I've identified the things that I like. I like trips, but I don't want to spend too much because therapy cost is plenty. Therapy cost is plenty,
Yes, so very plenty.
but
We
I
thank God for benefits because we haven't gotten approval yet.
Oh man, let's just thank God. I would definitely want to do that. And for me, what I do, I don't go outside to do my mani pedi. I do it at home. I bought a kit and I do my nails myself. Literally just enjoy doing that. Like that's like it will give me about 45 minutes to spend time, solitude with myself and just doing my nails. And so I love that time out for myself. So thank you so much for sharing. And exactly, yes, whatever it is that makes you happy, please, you have to prioritize it in 2025 and do it. You have to do it this year. We have to take care of ourselves. Thank you so much. Anybody else want to share? Anybody else want to share? Please feel free. This is just a two-way conversation. It's just us. Anybody else? You guys just want to dig into this, your child, Abby. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay, so 2024 has gone. We've spoken about some of the milestones our children had, which were beautiful. The fact that a child can be potty trained, that is a whole lot because that saves you money from saves a lot of money from your pocket. Not only that, your child is getting towards being more independent as well. And so, yes, let's talk about setting SMART goals. I don't know about you, but for me, every TWC, I come as a participant because I come fully ready to learn. And so whenever we have, even it could just be us talking or when we have a guest, you will literally see me with my agenda, writing and scribbling away. And so if you don't have a pen and a paper, please make it an habit to start having a pen and paper with you when you're going to meetings because you don't want to miss what is being said. Yes, we'll have the recording and you can rewatch on YouTube, but for me, I just go with my pen and paper. And while during the course of last year, we had a guest speaker that Mr. or Dr. Ryan that just opened my eyes to the goals we should be setting for our children. What goals really, really matter that we should be setting for our children. And I'll be talking around that. For me, that meeting left me thinking about what exactly do we want for our son, Damien. And at the end of that meeting, I sat down and I created a 10-year plan for Damien. A 10-year plan whereby Damien will be fully independent. Damien will be, because he is 10, I had to just zoom out to when he's 20 and the things I want him to be able to do. And then from there, I zoom in and now I assessed where Damien is currently when it comes to his independence, his communication, his education, his ability to communicate with people, his ability to learn, especially money concepts to add and subtract, and his ability to socialize in any environment. Those were the 5 main things that I, zoomed out and zooming on, looking at if my son is able to be fully independent in these spheres and be able to do these certain things, then I am fine. And we created a 10-year plan. I had a discussion with my husband. Are you on board? This is what I'm seeing for our son. And he was like, oh, yeah, literally, this is what we are seeing for our daughter as well, even though we might just be scaling some things down for Damien. And so, in setting SMART goals for your child, I want you to have at the back of your mind that whatever it is that you're setting, and for those who know me, I will not start anything that I cannot complete. The goals that I set for Damien are things that are sustainable for our family because, like I said, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I have another daughter too, I have another child, I work full time. And so the goals that I'm setting are things that I can do sustainably over a long period of time. And so usually just when I set this goal, I look at our family structure, I look at our day-to-day activities, and I break those goals down to the things that I can do on a consistent basis. So as we'll be setting goals for our children, like I said, the first thing that you need to start with is knowing your child. I know many parents say, Nami Bonam, I sabi my pikin. Knowing your child is not just I sabi my pikin, knowing your child is knowing your child's capabilities. Like literally knowing what your child can do currently, knowing your child's developmental age, knowing your child's strengths, so that you know which area you need to focus. That's why I'm talking about, I know my child. I need you to understand, take time, to sit and just identify from afar, look at your child, assess where your child is in major domains. It could be either independence, it could be in communication, it could be in academics, it could be in their social skills, whatever domain that you want to focus on, just assess and identify where your child is. And it will also be very good if you have, if you can leverage talking to specialists as well. Because yes, what we know about our child is different from how a specialist will tell you about your child. Sorry, my slide is going everywhere. A specialist will tell you something different about your child's strength. For instance, I can take communication. I can say that, okay, Demi is able to tell me what he wants. But a therapist will tell me that, yes, Demi is able to tell me what they want, but there are some certain things that Demi is unable to do. Like Demi might not be able to tell you where a particular thing is. Or if you ask him an interverbal question, he might not be able to answer those interverbal questions. Or when you ask Demi to tell you who is this, Demi might struggle with that. And so I just want to encourage you, while you're identifying your child's strength and where you want to work on, if you can partner with a therapist, a teacher, somebody who is knowledgeable to break those goals down for that, somebody that works with children, that will be very, very helpful. Because when you understand your child, then you're able to pick a goal, identify, align those goals together, yourself and the therapist. Now I know that, yeah, I can say my son can talk, but can my son answer questions when he's asked the question? So those are areas for us personally. Those are where I've identified. Now, I've identified Demi's strength. He's able to now have conversations. He can have a dialogue. But when you ask him questions, is he able to answer those questions? So those are areas that we are looking at, focusing on. And those are things that I don't want you as parents to miss out, because yes, those are the things that we should be setting goals around and then breaking them down to milestones that we can attain over a long period of time. And so, of course, apart from identifying our children, understanding our child's strengths, confirming the strengths with a therapist or with a professional, and we can also confirm, those areas that we need to work on. Confirm those areas, or they can also, all those therapists or specialists or professionals can help you identify those areas that you should work on. They can also go further by helping you break those steps and those goals down further. For us, I know everybody will have heard about SMART goals, SMART goals, SMART goals. SMART goals are goals that are, very, very specific. Very, very specific. Before, I would just say that I want my son to talk. What does that mean? Talk is just a very, very broad language. But now I'm identifying that for communication goals, I'm even saying that I want Demi to have a back and forth conversation minimum 3 times in a week at 3 different instances. So I'm being very, very specific to know exactly what we want. That's one of our goals now. Demi can talk, but we want to expand this conversation. We want to expand his vocabulary. And so we had a meeting in the house after we set our goals. Daddy, oh yeah, this is what Demi is going to be doing. At every time that you're talking with Demi, don't just let him give you one answer. Follow up with that answer and have a back and forth conversation about 3 times before you let him go. Why are we doing that? We want him to know that conversing with people is not just one word, because he's done that over a long period of time. And when he says yes, he usually just feels that he has finished communicating. So now we're identifying that we have to be specific to know what exactly we want. We want to increase this conversation. We want to increase the vocabulary. And how can we do that? Now we've set that we would do 3 conversations, back and forth conversations at every instant. And we are trusting that at least 3 times in a day, we should be able to do that. We talk several times in the day, but we are making sure that at least are measurable. We just want to track 3 times in a day. So that is being very, very specific on a communication goal. That is setting something that we can measure. We are measuring only 3 times. Something that it can be achievable, yes, We talk with Demi several times, even if it's just me. I talk with Demi more than 3 times in a day, or his dad or his sister. But we are saying that one each for each of us. Make sure you have that back and forth conversation with Amy. And when we tally those are 3 that we can also achieve. We are sure we can achieve that. And that goal is relevant. Yes, it is relevant because we know Amy can talk now, but we know that in his social interaction with people, it will be relevant. It will be very good for him to have that back and forth conversation. And so we want to teach him that from the house. That is how we are attacking, that's how we are attacking communication. Now, I don't know if we want to just quickly take a moment and think of a goal for your child. Take a moment and think of a goal for a child. And can you just type that in the chat now? I know we'll do more in the breakout room. Think of a goal for your child. It could be in communication, it could be in independence, it could be in their social skills, it could be even in their behavior, whatever area that you want to. Can you think of a goal and can you just drop that in the chat? Think of a goal and drop that in the chat. I'm also going to do that. And I want you to try. I know we'll be going to the breakout room and we'll do this better, but I want you to pick a goal, break it down, and try to make sure that it is smart based on the examples that I have given now on Dami's communication goals. Can we try that? Are we fine with trying that? Thumbs up if you want to participate. I don't want to be the only one talking. Yeah, are we doing that? So I'm going to type in the chat as well. Thank you, Tosin. So let's try, because what I want this to be very hands-on. So if we are setting goals and we need to refine those goals, if we need to break those goals down further, we can all do that as a family together now. And so we know how to set those goals individually, even when we are out of the breakout rooms. I want us to be able to do this together. So go ahead. I'm going to also type in the chat and set a goal for Damien. Now, where areas? I'm thinking out loud. Which area should I want to focus? I've given an example about communication. Okay, I'm gonna go with the social skills now. Social communication, social interaction with people. Okay, I want Damien. Um, oh, okay. March. Mm, mm. Are we typing? Okay, I got mine. Anybody getting close? Okay, I've just dropped mine in the chat. Okay. 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 I want you to drop it and then we'll pick them one after the other and we'll see if it is smart. So that's why I'm waiting for everybody to drop just a goal in the chat and then we will try and make sure to get these goals smart, because they have to be very, very specific. What exactly, when we talk about communication, what exactly is communication? What does that mean in the terms of your child? When we are talking about, yes, we have to make it specific. We have to make it measurable, something that we can measure for how many times when that interaction is, or whenever your child is talking. We have to make sure it's something that your child can do. Is your child able to do that thing, that goal that you're trying to set? Is your child able to? Is your child ready or in that space? And is this something that we can measure? So those things are the things I want. And yeah, is it relevant and is it time bound? Do we have a time frame that we are hoping that your child is able to? Now, mind you, some goals might take 6 months. That is okay. But as long as your child is achieving it, that is oh, okay. Okay, so yes, I'm looking at the chat. So please, please, please send them in. Send them in, send them in. Let's look at them together. I have mine. I'm waiting for more responses. We are more than this. We are more than this. Let's see, let's see, let's see. So for me, what I've written is by the end of March. Why I said March is because it's winter. And with winter, you don't have more kids outside. So I'm increasing my own time frame. So yes, if you put a chart, your goal in the chart, and you're identifying that it's not smart, start refining it based on our conversation. So I am saying that by the end of March, I want Damie to be able to initiate conversations with his peers and age mates 3 out of 5 times. If he meets his friends or children around his age mate 5 times, I want him 3 out of those 5 times to go and initiate that play with them, and not just only play with them. I want him to, interact with them and live with a name. So he's not just going tag and running around. He's being intentional to be able to ask, hi, my name is Demi. What is your name? And I want him to be able to do that 70% of the time when he's interacting with his friends. So right now, is Demi there? Is this something that is relevant to him? Yes, it's relevant. Is this goal specific? Yes, because we're giving a time bound of 3 months. So we have January to March the way to do that. I know it's winter. He might not see most of his friends, but in church, he has some friends. And that is why I increased those time frame. Yes, 3 out of 7 times. Mostly you just see him running around, but I want him to be able to tell me the names of his friends, the names of the people he's playing with 70% of the time when he's interacting with people. So that is a goal. That is a social skills goal that I want him to be able to do. So over time, when he's now having conversation with me, he can tell me, oh, I played with, he can remember the name of the person that he played with in church today. Not just he had a friend or he was running around. So that is a goal that we are setting for Damien. And I'm going to look into the chat now and start reviewing those goals together. And please feel free to unmute yourself. Let's do this together if you have a good grasp at this. Okay, yeah, so I can see Jenica joined, dropped a chat about communication goal for Sam. She wants Sam to be able to assimilate and have a multiple way discussion with us at home and people outside. Okay, how to achieve, I'm coming, sorry, something is coughing. Sorry, something is covering that. There's that emoji, this thing is covering. Okay, I can see dash the speech and language teach, know what my goals are, class teacher and all working with her, and let everybody at home know as well. Okay, so Jenica, let's break this down. Now, this is just a big communication goal. When you talk about two-way conversation, what exactly are you talking about? What exactly do you want Sam to be able to do? Do you want her to respond to you? Or do you want her to give you a feedback? What exactly are you talking about in terms of two-way discussion? Do you want her to piggyback on whatever you've said? What exactly is it that you want her to be able to do? Can we be that specific? Free, you can unmute yourself if you are able to talk so we can tackle this.
Okay. All right. So like responding, appropriately when asked a question, or spontaneously having like a conversation together. Like you said earlier, goals could take ages or last, could be achieved in few months or in more than that. So just being able to communicate, because we tend to do monosyllabic, so what are you doing? Sometimes we may not get a response, but I've told everybody at home, definitely as a rule, you must get a response. Even if she's hitting her head, you must get a response. The responses could be faster when you kind of like you give options, what are you doing? Are you doing this, this, or that? And then she'll now choose the one that she's doing. So being able to be spontaneous and in answering the questions, and just sporadically, or having like two-way conversations, like both of us are, or like we do with other children. How was your day? Being able to kind of like to give me like a full account of how the day went, and what we're doing now is how was your day. Response will get how was your day, what did you do at school, maybe no much word, did you do this? And then when you start saying, did you do this? Then you might say reading, writing, coloring, those kind of things. So yeah, that's what I mean by being able to assimilate. So knowing, understanding the question that has been asked, and then being able to answer the question that has been asked without me having to give options, or to, yeah, basically.
Okay, thank you so much for giving more context into what you mean about her being able to, have that two-way conversation. Now, the question I have is, where is Sam at? Now, you have mentioned that Sam is at where you give her options, she's able to reply. Or does she reply every time, or just most of the time?
Not all the time. I would say most of the time. So if it's something that she wants to get, like the other day, an example, yesterday, I was sitting in such a way that she wanted to have time with her iPad. So I was sitting in such a way that she couldn't reach it. So she stood there. She didn't know what to do, but she knew. I just completely ignored her, and she kept saying, past you, past you. So I understood what she wanted to say, but I wanted her to, to rethink and rephrase it, so saying, I want to go past you and get the iPad. Okay. So I wanted the full sentence and not just past you. So we do monosyllabic, or just, two words like that.
Okay. Okay, so can we just say that for probably, like, at times it might take longer. Can we just say that probably what the duration do you think we should give Sam now? Because everybody in the house is aware now you're working on. Do you want to say from January till June, or to April, or to when do you want to be able to look back at this particular goal?
Yeah, I was actually thinking of 6 months
6 months, okay.
back, and review and see where we are at.
Okay, so we can say that we want Sam to, in the next 6 months, to be able to participate in at least maybe 3 back and forth exchanges during conversations. Most times, of course, we talk to her more than that, but how often do we want her to be able to get this? Do we want to say 60%, or considering where she is now? Because at times she might not answer, at times she might want to answer. Or do we want to say 70%? 70% means that at almost every time, maybe no, not 1 in 4. 70% is, I think 3 in 5 times, right?
Yeah, 70 should be
So,
3.
yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, for me, even if it's 50%, yeah, I think I'll do 50% and see, and then go from there.
Okay.
if we get on, because I want to involve, because I think I have a meeting with the speech and language therapist, because I normally want to know what my goals are, you know,
Mhm.
working with that, working with the class teacher as well, and the lesson teacher, and everybody at home knowing, you know, what the goals are. So yeah, with them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to, I just usually just at the beginning of the year tell everybody, have a meeting with everybody. Come, let's talk. Let's have a dialogue about what we want them to be able to achieve this year. So I think for Sam now, that's much better. Now we know that we want Sam by June, we want Sam to be able to have three-way conversation. And what that means is when you ask her a question, she replies, and you also follow back with an additional question or a follow back or piggyback or whatever you've said. Are
Yeah,
we? Yeah,
yeah,
okay. Yeah,
exactly.
and we are trusting that she'll be able to do that 3 out of 5 times, or we said 50%.
Yeah,
Okay.
3 out of 5 or 2.5 out of 5, whichever.
2.5 out of 5. Yes. Okay. So now at least we know, and you would also, translate that to everybody in the house. When you're
Yeah.
having a conversation with Sam, just don't leave it at one word. Because yes, they are comfortable with yes, no, but we want
Mm.
to also say back what they think or what she understood by what we was said, and give a response, and the person piggyback and add to that. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's similar to what we're working with Damien too. But yes, I think that can happen. Thank you for sharing that goal. Deborah said she wants Rafaela to be able to hold comprehensive conversation for 2 minutes. Okay. Deborah, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And so where is Rafaela at now?
So she's prompted by need. When she's in need of something, she will give you a full conversation about I want she echoes sometimes. So she would say, Mommy, can I open the phone for you?
Hmm.
So the way I would have said it to her, she would say to me, kind of trying to prompt me to do the service for her. And when I say no, she goes, why not? Then I'll explain to her the reason why. And then she'll go back to saying it again, Mommy, can you open the phone? I'll try to correct it. So it's more like she memorizes the phrase for the action. So when she says open the phone and I say ask properly, she will now say open the phone, please. Then I would open the phone. Then if I tell her, okay, no, first you eat your dinner, then we'll open the phone. And she will know, she will just keep saying open the phone, open the phone, open the phone. Sometimes she will go, why not? And then if I say, then she starts crying and she will now tell you, she'll come and tap you and say, Mommy, say why are you crying?
Okay.
Then I would like tell her, okay, why are you crying? Then she will just like continue crying. I'm like, I'll not prompt because, but she won't have any. She'll just say because, and that's where the conversation generally ends. So the conversation usually that one step, more like, I want this, you can't get this. There's either a cry or agreement, but there's no like conversation of, oh, how was your day in school? It was fine. How is your teacher, Miss Fabiano? She's fine. How is your what do you call them? The minders, the special needs minders. They say I call her name. She says she's fine. What do you do in school today? She doesn't respond to that. I now start prompting. Do you do numbers? She will give you yes. Do you love numbers? Yes, I love numbers. So those are the kind of responses we get. It's like you have to fill in the blanks and kind of prompt. But she's very good when it comes to I'm hungry. She wants the food. She's 7 years old, by the way. So I want food. I want phone. I want to I want to sleep. I want to go out. I want to play here. I want to do this. She can give you those needs. Yeah. But when you're trying to now get more information on, okay, why do you need it? She doesn't usually have a response for that. So the second level of conversation, we haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, I think I understand where Rafaela is, and that is at the interverbal place. Of course, when it comes to you asking them questions, she's able to answer with one word. And now we're looking at expanding that communication from one word to comprehensive conversation. And so to make this goal very, very question for you is Rafaela able to understand the concept of where, what, why, yet?
Yes, she's able to understand that
She
you can
understands.
send her on errands. She goes on errands, and she understands those simple. I've been doing like two instructions in a sentence as well, and she has been good on those too. But she understands the what is that, where is that, who is that, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so what you just said now, something just dropped on my mind and I wrote it down. I know with our children, there's something they call receptive and expressive. So she might be, I don't know if I hope I will not mix them up now. She might be very good at receptive, but when it comes to expressive, that is where the challenge is. When it comes to her expressing herself and telling us these things, would that be correct?
Yes, I believe she understands more than she can
Mm.
speak, basically. Yes.
Okay, so what we will need to do, or where if I would be, because I'm still in that place too, I think where I'm seeing us align is that to teach that expressive language as it were. Now, is she being taught this at all, or you are expecting her to just be able to do it? Is she getting a formal skill training on how to express?
She has had therapy since she was 2. So, and in school they are also accommodating her. There's an SLT, and we also got her to do ABA as well. In the last, I think October, November, December, she has been doing like 6.5 hours of ABA a week, and you find that she picks up things by herself. Like when she started reading, I wouldn't for I wouldn't even take credit for her reading. Like we just noticed that she was reading. So there are some things that like that's why I guess I started worrying less. I'm still like, of course, on edge, but I worry less when I notice that I can be working so hard on one particular goal, and then she completes one other goal that wasn't even on my list. So but the conversation one is the one that is still a priority for me. And but I said before, once you teach her stuff repeatedly, she picks it up, and it's more like the word we use, cramming. But the one that she eventually that thing she crams, if she's able to marry with other skills that she learns by herself, it then it starts getting natural. Take, for example, I had to insist, and this took me almost a year, that the minute I walk through the door from work, whatever you're doing, you have to stop it. Run towards me, give me a hug, and greet me good evening. So it took a lot of standing at the door, and I'll keep shouting her name until she comes, drops whatever she's doing, and comes to me. So as the day goes by, it's less and less of shouting. I can just call her name once or twice, or I'll raise my voice the last time, and she was like, "Yes, mommy, I'm coming," and come. And what she started doing in the last few weeks, instead of her just hugging, she will hug, then she'll put her hand on her chest and she'll bow down. So I'm like, okay, where did you learn this one? Probably, I don't know, maybe some boys were doing it in your school or something, because girls with courtesy and all, but I'm not even talking about that one. I'm like, however, at least you understand that that's also part of a greeting. So I'm taking that.
Part of a greeting.
I'm taking it. So
Yeah.
those kind of things. She's now adding stuff to this behavior that I had kind of built over the year.
So I had,
And
sorry
yeah.
to cut you short. Go ahead. You mute yourself so fast. No, we're still having conversation.
No. I wanted you to talk without
Yeah, thank you. So while you were talking, you said she's been in therapy since she was age 2, but see, being in therapy is different from the therapist targeting those goals. So are they targeting teaching her does she have expressive language in her programming? Are you aware of any?
they have those targeted goals. They call you for the reviews, they call you for the meeting. I don't want to sound like
No, I don't mean, I don't know all those.
I don't want to sound like it's not effective. It's just that therapies are well, I won't say all, but you find that they have this template that they just walk off. And it's you just by the time you go to different therapies, it's basically the same thing that they are saying, and they are scoring 90, 80, 20, and you're like, okay, fine and good on paper, but I'm trying to look at the child and see what the improvement is, and I'm not agreeing with some of the things you say. So, but that being said, yes, they do have specific things, and I've also advocated to be given specific activities that they are using for her in school so that we can mirror the same thing at home. So this one that is very popular, the first and then for transition and all that, we mirror that at home as well. Then there was another one that I learned from another therapist was if you ask a question and they don't give you an answer, provide the answer, then ask the question again.
Okay.
So, like, oh, the ball is on the table. Where's the ball? And she tells you, oh, the ball is on the table. Then you ask the question a couple of times again, and she understands the ball is on the table. Then move the ball, ask the question again, just to let her understand that, oh, where is the ball means they're trying to ask you where the ball is. Then eventually the child picks up that learning. So yeah, it has basically been it has been as specific as I guess humanly possible. But then again, it's not a one size fit all.
Well, I hear you. I agree with you. It's not a one size fits all. But what I'm just trying to advocate is even if we are setting this goal for Rafaela, we need to teach her how to get this thing done. If we want to send it, has to be something that she's able to do. Now, why I asked if they are teaching her in therapy is that's an area avenue for her to learn this. And if she's doing it repeatedly over time, she would master the goal, whereby when she gets home, she's also been able to translate that goal at home. So, like you said, they have some things in our programming, but I would like you to check and make sure that it is reflecting, teaching her how to expressively respond to things before we can also now be usually trying to measure those goals. Because if you're not teaching her, you're expecting her to do it, then I don't know what we are trying to do. So let's make sure that it is on, because I don't know how to teach all the skills, and I don't let those programming goals drop until I'm able to see that my son is able to do that. Like I follow up to make sure that he's able to do, and I agree when they say they are fading this goal, and I'm like, yes, Demi understands this and you can fade it. So I'm hoping that you can also stay on top of that for Rafaela, and when we are setting that goal for her, to be able to expressively answer questions and have that two-way conversation as we want for 2 minutes, she's able to do that because she has been taught. I hope that helps. That helps. Do we have any other goal? Well, yeah,
Yes, thank you.
I'm not expert. I'm just sharing from what we are doing with Demi. I'm just sharing from the little nugget that I know. If anybody has any thing you want to share, you can unmute yourself and just share. But I just want parents to know that we have to be intentional in these goals that we're setting, and those goals are things that we know based on our children's strength, they are ready for it, they're able to achieve it. We can measure ourselves. Are we helping them to master this goal, as it were? So if you say we are going to do this thing 3 out of 5 times, is this something that we are really sure that we can do? And I just trust that God will help us to, do better with our children in the goals that we're setting. And of course, there has to be something that you can do sustainably over a long period of time. I was setting a goal that Amy will be studying 4 times in a week, and I realized that, no, that is too much. We are changing it to 3 times in a week at home, because myself, I'm somebody else's child, and I need to rest, because that was what I identified last week. On Thursday, I was so tired, and I was like, Amy, no. You just come and stand and read for 20 minutes, and that was all that he did. So yes, it has to be something that we can sustainable do, so that when we are tracking, we know what we are tracking. Yeah, we're supposed to go to breakout room, but I think that we can just have it here since we're not so many today. What do you guys think? Should we continue the gist here? Or you want to go and gist in silos?
I agree. I think it's best to continue here.
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. So now I want to learn from you, because me too, I'm walking this journey and I have not know anything. I've not know everything. I want to learn from you. Where's that question? Yeah. I think I stopped sharing my screen. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me share this before. Let's share screen again. So there were some goals that I just took liberty to screen one. Let me see, it's coming up. I have multiple screens, so pardon me if I'm struggling a bit. Okay, yes. So I have just like some before and after. I know Sam's mom has said that for a new year, I'm trusting God for full independence in our toileting, requiring no aid or support, being able to have a two-way and above, understand conversation, ends of tantrums, amazing speed in all academics, and just a wow to everyone around her. It will be a year where we all just know that it had to be God. She will begin to make good friends and sustain relationship. My voice will be heard louder in a good way. Sam's mom just prophesied in this our goal. In this our goal for Sam, and I know God will help her. So what I did was just to, I don't know, Ginny, are you here? What I did was just to pick them one by one and just, let's do what we can do to start. So what I said was Tam would independently use the toilet with no support at least 80% of the time without anybody going in with her. Also, she'll be able to have conversations and comprehend what has been said about 80% of the time. She will reduce tantrum to less than once in a week, because we have to be able to measure, and she will complete her academic task at least 20% faster than her current pace. So we need to know what she's doing now to be able to measure, is there a timer currently in place for her when she's doing her work, so that when she's getting faster, we can actually acknowledge that she's getting faster and we can celebrate her when she's getting faster. So that's just one thing that I thought I should share with you and that you can put in mind. For Sami and, sorry, my nephew calls it Sami. For Shami and Korede, the mom has thought that they want to reduce tantrum and more functional speech. Good way. So I just broke that Shami and Korede would reduce the tantrum episodes to less than 1 or 2 per week. Okay, 2 per week. And then they would increase their functional speech to engage in 3 or 4 sentence conversation with familiar people in the house at least 3 times in a day. So I'm just sharing this so that this would help us to break whatever it is that we set for our children further. and we are able to make it more specific for them. And okay, so I have here Jola's mom has said that she wants Jola to improve its expressive language and to be able to sustain a meaningful back and forth conversation. So I'm saying that Jola's goal might be for a entire year. We'll measure by the end of the year. But we want Jola to be able to have a meaningful back and forth conversation, at least 5 exchanges on a daily basis. And that, of course, will have to also be communicated. I'm sure his mom talked to him more than 5 times in a day. But we need to be intentional that when we are talking to Jola, we're waiting for that back and forth conversation, not just a one yes answer and we are done with whatever we're saying. So please, Jola's mom, take note. And I believe that would improve his expressive if you are waiting for that back and forth conversation and we are targeting 5 exchanges in a day. For Nathaniel, his mom has said that she wants Nat to develop speech, improve receptive communication, calmness when frustrated, and longer attention span. And so I think for this to be a realizable, something that can be done by Nathaniel, I'm just saying that by December, Nat will show 40% improvement in his receptive language understanding. He understands more what is being told him. About 40% of the time, he understands the request or whatever has been said to him. And also, he is responding calmly when frustrated, at least 75% of the instances, and is able to maintain focus for a single activity for about 10 minutes. And so that entails that Nat's mom will have to track where he is currently. And that's where knowing your child's ability, knowing your child's strengths, knowing where your child is, and then you can set goals regarding that area. I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that setting SMART goals is the way to go in 2025 for your children. Anyway, so those are just some examples that I wanted to share, and I'm hoping that that would help us to review the goals we set, and we'll be able to break that down further. At this point, I think I just want to ask, does anybody have any question? Being mindful of our time as well. We are just at the mark of 2 hours now, shy of 5 minutes. Any questions or anything you want to drop, any nuggets you want to share with us that we can learn from? Like I said, I'll also come to this meeting willing to learn with my pen and paper, ready to grasp everything. So anybody else want to share? Anything you want to share?
Abby,
Yes.
I just want to add that maybe in addition to us setting these goals, what will also be beneficial is to have maybe some action items beneath each of the goals, maybe 3 to 5 action items on what we will do to achieve these goals so that we can further break down into like tasks to achieve the goals.
Action items. What exactly are you going to start immediately now to start drawing? Yeah, action items. Please don't forget to. Don't forget. Action items. So for some people that have goals regarding communication, action items might be you communicating that goal to everybody in the house. Make sure that every time you're talking to Damie, make sure that you're waiting for that back and forth conversation. We are targeting 5 times in a day. And I'm so grateful to God that my people are already, they latched on that already. I was happy in the way, just while we're coming back from church, my husband was asking Oyi a question that why does she like something so much? And Demi was like, food? Me too, I like food. Then his dad was like, okay, you like food. Which food do you like? And he said jollof rice and chicken. I was like, okay, then his dad followed up and asked him a question. Would you like to try amala tonight? I was like, no, thank you. Then his daddy asked him another question, So that back and forth conversation, it's like Kajia said, let's remember to put that action items. If you have to communicate that to everybody in the house, once they're doing the same thing everywhere, it sticks easier. It's easier for them to latch onto that. So anybody else want to share another nugget with us? Please, I want to learn more because this 2025 must be a year of good growth for all of us. Or if you have anything that you just want to talk about.
Mine is not necessarily a nugget. It's just more of as parents, when you are in a situation like this, what comes up, and this is something that affects my ability to follow through with the plan, is I'm always going back to the past, like what went wrong. And was it because of this? Was it the immunization? Did we feed her the wrong food? Was it the wrong medication? Was it the time she fell? So all this always comes up in my mind, and I'm like, if only we could just, so it eats into that 10 minutes, 20 minutes, it eats into my mind. It really makes me numb for a bit. Then it's when we now actually are faced with the reality that we've been trying this activity now for like almost 6 months to 1 year, and we're not seeing any desired progress. Okay, this is it now. Just take it there as it comes. So those are the very, very low moments. And I must say that I'm grateful for my child, because at those very low moments, she's my low moment, she's still resilient. And no matter what someone else would perceive as disorganized or dysregulated as she is, she does just something that just makes me smile and be like, oh, okay. God, thank you that we have an opportunity to be alive, to be awake, to have good health. And as much as I want to lay down and give you all my burdens and give all the wise, and I wish it never happened and all those kind of things, but for some reason you have willed this situation, and I really, really am trying to make the best of it, and I just need your help. This is what this girl needs to accomplish, and I'm the one who is responsible for this, to ensure that she gets from this point to this point. I cannot let her leave my home and not be independent. So walk this walk with us. It's not like it's done. I still have low moments, and I have them every day. But I get more of the good than the lows. So my motto has just been: if you wake up in the morning, there's air in your lungs, go down on your knees and thank God and ask for mercy and the grace for the day, and just put one foot up in front of the other and just keep moving. One way or the other, something always happens that will make you smile. And when that smile comes, just hold on to it. And it's also important to get the people around you as supporters of those actions. So my children, now I can leave home for an hour errand, 2 hours errand, and leave them. Her older sister is responsible for her. They know what to do. She, of course, does not respect them the way she respects me, but at least I know that if it's to be fed, or to for them to play with her or help her with a drawing or a painting or some work, at least they will get to do something, 20%, 30%. And they already know coping mechanism as well, calming things to do to calm her down, smell the flowers, blow the candle to prompt breathing. And she herself now will tell you, okay, count to 10. She to count just to de-escalate things. So let me now say it's an encouragement to all of us here, because I know we all face it when we have those low moments. Just remember, nothing lasts. It's one foot up after the other. As long as there's life, there's hope. And you always remember that God sees all, and He's has given us the grace to move ahead.
Thank you so much for sharing, Deborah. Thank you. Lara, you have your hand up.
Yes. Hello everyone. Sorry I couldn't communicate earlier, but I've been following. So I just wanted to share that great conversations and suggestion tips that everyone has shared. And I just wanted to just piggyback quickly on what Khadija shared and how we led to the discussion on self-care and how we should just really try our best to take one day at a time. And one of the things that I learned last year was um, the many no's I say means I'm saying yes to something. And so in a house where I have three boys and, caring for them and caring for myself, being a wife, working and all of that, I decided to make some decisions, um, trying to delegate more and train my older children more to take care of some things that they can take care of them for themselves. Also making a decision to say, if I really don't need to cook today, so that I can just take a breath and take a break and breathe, it's fine. Like any pressure that you don't necessarily need to put on yourself, because Trudeau is not well, Trudeau is leaving now, but he's not coming to your house. Then you don't need to put that pressure on yourself. And also sometimes, so one of the things I realized that I used to love walking a lot, but I realized this being vulnerable now, where I kind of reduced it for a while, then almost shut it out completely because we had a few flight risk incidents. And in my mind, I was a kind of very worried about the fact that, okay, if I leave home, what's going to happen and everything. So it took a while, even when I would still sometimes go to the grocery store and leave him with his older siblings and all of that. I really felt that that was something at the back of my mind that had stayed there, even when there was no need for it to stay there, and it took a while for me to break out of it. So towards the end of last year, um, husband registered us in a gym and I've been going and leaving the house sometimes late at night um, is not something I would naturally do because my mind will be thinking of 1,001 things. That even if the alarm is on, what if it comes down? What if he does this and all of that? Of course, we're still making sure they are safe. He is safe and is also at times where he's cared for and all of that. But I'm just trying to say that sometimes even when our children make progress, we need to take time to actually sink in with that progress that they've made and not stay where they were before in a sense. So do what you can. Last year, even though I told myself I would do more massages in the year, but I think I did like two. I managed to do two. And this year I'm trusting that I'll be able to do more as well. Um, did a few manicure and pedicure sessions. I think I'll go with Abiola's thought process now and just be doing the home one or something. But the point I'm trying to make is let's just continue to explore whatever makes us happy, listen to music. Gardening is something that I love during summer, early spring and summer. So whatever it is, let's just try to invest time into those things and say no to what we can say no to so that we can say yes to being able to breathe and rest and get ourselves together. We need to be strong for not just for the children, but for ourselves as well to be able to, live life optimally, you know. And I pray that, God will help us and give us grace to continue in those respective paths that we all take into self-care because for everyone is different how you enjoy self-care. But whatever path you want to take, I hope and pray that we can all begin to navigate those steps little by little, and just really be happy and fulfilled, with life, and just trust that things will really, really get better. The other thing I wanted to quickly mention is this is a journey that I'm also starting in a sense. So last year I said, because before last year I've been really praying, and I think we've spoken about it too in some TWC sessions, is also identifying unique gifts that our children have and trying our best to see what can we do to help them to explore and dig in more into those gifts and all of that. And I think it's something that we should continue to do, even as we want them to continue, the set goals for conversation, for writing, for the academics. Let's also pay attention to what they really like, and see how we can, in, you know, improve the exposure to that area. For instance, I know that my son likes arts and crafts in a sense. So if it's not cutting, he may want to just draw. Um, and of course, it means more markers, more whatever it is. But I see that it finds room for expression. And although we are currently in the states where I don't know if it happens to anybody, but once we get into Christmas, it takes us about 4 months to get out of 12 days of Christmas. It's just too fascinated with this song. So yeah, and but anyway, that's the situation we're in. But basically, I just wanted to say that let's pay attention. Whatever, if it's music, you just find that, yeah, maybe you should explore how they can begin to learn how to explore that area as well. So that's just what I wanted to say.
Thank you so much, Lara. Thank you for that feedback, for that contribution. Yes, aspirant, please, let's not forget ourselves. Let's remember that we are very important, and we should, carve out time to do the things that we enjoy to do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Anybody else who wants to share? I think we're just about wrapping up. I think Lara just gave us a wrap up of our conversation today. To not forget ourselves, also set goals for yourself too and for your children. Yes, Jenica, you wanted to share something?
Yeah, I think thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Lara. Yeah, I think the only thing I wanted to add was if it's possible for us to help our children in achieving some life skills, because there are so many things you see online about children on the spectrum that went out and then fell into a pond or a pool, and it happened. So I don't know how we can incorporate that, teaching them how to swim, even if it takes as long as or as short as, just so that at least they are, because we don't know where, we know, we don't really know where, I mean, yes, that's it really. Just seeing if it's possible for us to get our children to do that. I think that's the only thing I wanted to add to everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, life skills is also very important. We should not forget to set goals around that. And this might entails children learning in swimming, baking, cooking, things that would help them be independent, as it were, and be safe out there. I think we should look holistically and set goals around that. Thank you for sharing, Jenica. Thank you. Anybody else has something you want to share? I'm trying to see if I'm not missing any hand. Okay, I'm not missing any hand. Some people have been very, very quiet. If I call your name now, you know yourself. But thank you for being here. Thank you so much. I think at this point we'll be drawing the curtains for our conversation this afternoon. And please, 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 I just want to finish this, and then please remember that you are important as a parent. Your child depends on you. Your family depends on you. And it's really, really important that you prioritize yourself in 2025. Take your, take care of yourself. Also, it's also important that we set, realistically and sustainable goals for our children. It could be in academics, their communication, social skills. It could be life skills goals. And please, it's important that we set goals around that. Also, also remember, when you set goals, take those action steps. Make sure that you put down, write down the action steps, things you need to do so that you can start working towards those goals immediately. And lastly, please, as parents, as much as possible, remember to document every single thing that you're doing for your child so that anybody that sees it can run with it and can help you support your child. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is the end of the first TWC session. Remember, you can stay connected to us on our WhatsApp community, on our Facebook, on our Instagram, on our TikTok, on our website. And feel free to reach us in any means that you seem comfortable with. We'll be happy to share resources with you. God bless you, and thank you for joining today. I'll be stopping the recording now. And for anybody that have any private questions, you can always ask me those private questions. Thank you. Let me stop my sit now.